Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of March.
Good morning. It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Yvette Chimbusho.
Over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports and business headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. Now starting with Yvette, what do you have for us today in business?
Well, Rwanda and Ethiopian Airlines have come into an agreement. Actually, the aviation authorities in both countries have come into an agreement that we can be able to fly there and they can come fly in our airspaces without any limitations. Oh, so I'll tell you exactly what that means because it's a bit more definition.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask, okay, weren't we flying there before, but since you made that clear,
okay.
Yes, I think I'll wait for the details to celebrate.
Right.
In lifestyle, we have somewhere that I visited last week, and then that's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Oh, we're not going to get a hint where you went?
No.
What did you bring for us?
Okay, no. You're tempting me. I'm not saying
I tried. I tried, guys. I tried.
Moses, what do you have for us in sports?
Well, the team Rwanda, the cycling team of Rwanda, after winning 3 medals in African Cycling Championship in Morocco, now they shift their focus to go to win some more medals in Algeria. I'll tell you more in details.
Well, all that and more is to come, but first, Rise and Shine, story of the day. Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, story of the day with me, Ivan Magwene. We now have a new mayor for Kigali City. Monique Mukaruriza was on Monday elected mayor of the city of Kigali. It is not, of course, the first time she has appeared in Rwandan leadership. She worked as the Minister of the East African Community Affairs. Well, today we shift our focus on what awaits the new Kigali City Mayor. For example, the long-awaited construction of the central sewage system seems to have remained at the feasibility study. Another pending issue is that of companies reluctant to vacate residential areas to occupy the office buildings that are springing up as the city embarks on achieving its master plan. In her brief victory speech, Mukaruriza said over the next 5 years, she will focus on the master plan, support businesses to thrive, and making sure the city remains clean. Well, Moses, I think as a person that lives in this city, that has lived in this city for quite some time.
Since I was born, basically.
You're born in so you're the city boy.
Literally born in the city.
All right.
Well, Nyarutarama precisely.
Okay. Then you had it one of the best suburbs we have here.
Yeah.
Well, this is a very vital position within the Rwandan leadership. Very important because I think Kigali City is one of the thriving cities I would say in Africa and in the world, because it's one of the fastest growing urban cities we have.
Definitely.
And having such kind of a position, not forgetting that we are now entering into the last 5 years of Vision 2020, makes it even a very big role to play as a mayor. But in your own view, what do you think are some of the things that Madam Mukaruriza needs to set up and see as issues to tackle when her term comes as the mayor of city of Kigali?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is going to be the fact that the master plan now is under implementation. And when you look at how people when you are going to ask, for example, a construction permit, and they tell you in this place you are not allowed to build a certain house because it is designed to be built this type of building. It's not, maybe it's residential, but maybe you are planning to do an apartment, and they tell you it's a low-rise apartment, or it's, cannot be high-rise. Maybe your target would be that bigger. So that makes people not be able to buy places before they consult the master plan. And sometimes it also make people not be able to sell some of their properties accordingly, because the buyers now are focused more on commercial rather than residential. And the fact that now some of the buildings are very expensive when you look at the project of, let's say, the Vision City of RSSB that's growing up. And now, the amount of money to buy those houses are very, very expensive. There are many And now for someone, it's not everyone who can afford to buy the house. And when you look at some of in a master plan, when actually the master plan was in the project, the biggest focus was to make sure that Kigali can be affordable to almost every person, and that's one of the challenges. But also when you look at the sewing, some of the the sewage system is also not yet implemented as it was supposed to be done. Though they've started, it's undergoing, but again, it has not been achieved as promised. And when you look at when we are in the first 5 final years of the Vision 2020, when you look at the Vision 2020 map, and the expectation for Rwandans were very high, but the reality on the ground is completely different. So that is where it's going to be a big challenge. And again, when you look at the way, let's say the commercial area like Mateusi, Commercial, now they are now shifting them to a new commercial complex. When you look at Taxi Park downtown.
Exactly, yes. Which actually I was going to ask you about. Some of the issues that were facing by the last mayor was the fact that even with the deadline that was set, that wasn't put in implementation, so it wasn't implemented. So this lady has a very big challenge to convince all these people. Karitiye Mateus has its own history. Definitely. It's been a commercial place. It's a
prime area. When we look at about real estate businesses and the commercial businesses, that means Karitiye Mateus is one of the prime area. When you have an office there, you don't need to advertise, because people will pass by and they know when I need this, I get it there.
Yes.
So now shifting from there to another area means there's going to be a long time of transition for people to know that this is now the next area.
Do you think this is the lady to beat the deadline?
Well, because Ndaisaba has set up he set up the foundation, and the fact that this new area is built and it's looking very amazing, and it's next to the tax park, and now it's also easier to drive people. To tell them now, like if you are coming down there, it's easier to access and closer to tax park, and. It's also very good for the Kigali city, because they need to make sure that they can build a lot of commercial complexes there for the beauty and the implementation of master plan. And it's not going to be easier, as we just say, but of course, Rwandans, we are not difficult in understanding, especially when it's something that goes hand to hand with the national economy and also the beautiness of the city and the country. We are easy and flexible as long as we get exactly what we want in a place where it is affordable and also easy to get an access. So it's not going to be tough, but also challenging.
Kigali city has been mentioned very many times as the cleanest city in Africa. Most secure city to live in. But precisely, we still face a lot of challenges. Let's say, for example, I normally see a lot of people coming out saying, we still lack those places where you can visit. A place, where you can go and, have people come around and visit different places. We still have issues with those kind of places. And do you think it's one of the things that this new mayor needs to address? Because I guess as a city that is easy to live in and so secure, people still need that leisure. And that will be another thing that will attract more people to visit Kigali. Do you think this is one of the problems you see that this lady needs to address?
It's completely a big problem, because there's no recreation places in Kigali.
Absolutely.
When you need to have leisure and take your family out, you take them out of Kigali. You go, you go in Gisenyi or Rubavu. You go in under National Park, Nyungwe Forest, in those other places. But in center Kigali, I don't see any place you can go and visit apart from Kigali Memorial. And other than is just bars, or you can go in a bar or a nightclub, but you don't see a place where you can visit during the day. So that liquidation area is not there in Kigali.
So by that, I mean, of course, it's not the mayor to do that. I think
but in the master plan, it's part of that is there. In the master plan.
That means engaging when you look at the investors now.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you look at the master plan, a place like Batsinda, Kagugu area, that was supposed to be a place whereby they put a recreation hub where people can go and visit. They put like a small park where people can go and sit with a beautiful garden, sit and talk, share coffee. But that is going to be a big challenge, because as far as I'm concerned, the 5 years period is short for her to implement it.
Urban housing is one of the most expensive now in Kigali.
Yeah.
people say, well, all these houses are going up, but we can't afford them.
Definitely.
What do you think needs to be done in this next term as we implement the master plan to make sure we reduce the cost of living, especially the cost of housing in Kigali City?
It's definitely difficult for that to be addressed, because when you look at most of developers, they're developing high-end construction homes, because some of the developers look at that people, they're not only selling houses to locals, but they're also selling houses to people, to internationals. But there's one that is going up in Batsinda, being developed by LSSB, and that one is going to be a bit low-cost house, and that one is going to actually to help, but it's not enough for all people to live in, because when you look at the average income of a Rwandan citizen, it's I don't know how much, but it might not be more than 150,000 if you look at the average, you see, or 200,000 for example. And if those 200,000, when you need to buy a house of 20 or 30 million francs, now how long will you save to be able to pay that loan back? It's completely difficult. So I think it should be time whereby developers should think to build houses of 10 million, 8 million, 7 million, even if it's 2-bedroom house.
Man, I've seen even in Ethiopia, you can get actually an apartment for $100 per month.
But here you can't. Here the least house you can rent for two-bedroom house would be about $200. You see, now that is a big problem. Because if you need a house which is a little cheaper, you go in the ghettos. In the ghettos, in places whereby it's tough, to call yourself that you live in a city. You see, now that's how people are now started to go and build some of their homes outside Kigali, because they expect that to be a little bit more cheaper, and they know that people will very soon go out of Kigali now to start living on neighborhood area next to where the boundaries of Kigali is ending. So that is a big challenging. But it's tough, and Rwanda is growing faster, but there are some of the targets which is not easy to be implemented quickly depending on the income generating rate of Rwandan citizens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we wrap up from there, and of course, we wish the best out to the new mayor and the team that is going to be working with. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Business stories are coming up next with Yvette Shumbusho.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything you love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Business stories making headlines today. Rwanda and Ethiopia have signed an air service agreement where the two countries agreed to open their airspace following their national carriers to operate without restrictions. According to the agreement signed between the Rwanda Civil Aviation Authority and the Ethiopia Civil Aviation Authority, all air service operations will be conducted under the Fifth Freedom Arrangement. The Fifth Freedom, according to Silas Udahemuka, the Rwanda Civil Aviation Authority Director General, means that the airline has the right to carry passengers from one country to another and from that country to a third country. This means that the Rwanda can now fly to Addis Ababa without any limitations. In August last year, Simera launched a state-of-the-art plan to boost cement production and serve local regional markets. Immediately after the new plant started production, the management went a step further and reduced the prices of the various types of cement to attract clientele in the highly competitive regional market. Simerwa reduced the factory price by 1,200 Rwandan francs per 50-kilogram bag of cement. This targeted customers buying in bulk more than 700 bags of cement. For exporters, the firm slashed the price by almost $7 to $205 per ton, down from $212 a ton during an earlier short promotional period. And in international business news, Brent crude futures rose 2% yesterday, adding to strong gains last week on increasing hopes that the market has bottomed out as OPEC kingpin Saudi Arabia said it would work with other producers to limit oil market volatility. The Saudi cabinet said in a statement that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia seeks to achieve stability in the oil markets and will always remain in contact with all main producers in an attempt to limit volatility, and it welcomes any cooperative action. You're now up to date with today's business headlines. Sports news coming up in just a moment with Moses Vilikunzira.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sport news. I am Moses Vilikunzira. Starting with continental cycling. Cycling team is in Algiers for Grand Tour of Algeria. From competing at the just concluded African Continental Road Championship in Casablanca, Morocco, Team Rwanda Cycling has arrived in Algiers ahead of upcoming Grand Tour of Algeria. This year's edition, a series of races that cover different parts of the vast North African country, is scheduled to start on March 4th and will run through March 28th. The team is comprised by Patrick Byukusenge, the captain, Joseph Hareruya, Joseph Biziyaremye, Jeremy Karegeya, Samuel Mugisha, and Jean-Claude Uwizeye, who won a silver medal in U23 category of the men's elite road race in Morocco. Now in FIFA. FIFA President Gianni Infantino marks first day in the office with a star-studded match. New FIFA President Gianni Infantino has kick-started his reign with a friendly football match. The Swiss Italian, who was elected on Friday ahead of Bahrain's Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa to become only the 9th president in FIFA's 112 years history, invited past World Cup stars and two current players, Kelly Smith of Arsenal Ladies and Julius Smith of Wolfsburg, to join him and staff on his first day in office for the informal kick-around. After the game, Mr. Infantino said, and I quote, "As of today, I would like that when we speak about FIFA, we speak about football. That's why I arranged these games." Finally, in European football, Luis Suarez said that he would love Lionel Messi's left foot and Neymar's pace as he picked up 2015 Best Latin American Player Award on Monday. Luis Suarez has heaped further praise on his two Barcelona teammates, Lionel Messi and Neymar, suggesting a mixture of him and the duo would represent the ultimate modern-day footballer. It is a truly mouth-watering thought, with Suarez 1/3 of most lethal three-pronged attack in Europe and Nou Camp, having collectively scored 94 goals and provided further 45 assists this season. Luis Suarez side equaled the longest unbeaten run of La Liga team in all competition with the victory over Sevilla at the weekend, and Suarez is understandably loving life alongside his prolific South American counterparts, with Suarez himself scoring 35 goals for Barcelona this year.
Well, I would like to say, Moses, Team Rwanda Cycling, of course, is flying higher and higher.
Yeah.
We've seen most of our boys go on to go to one of the best, some of the best teams in the world. We have some in Germany now, some in South Africa. I mean, what a way to go. One thing that about interesting, those that have gone for two of Algeria, is that these are young, fresh minds that are going to do this. But in all, how are we seeing Team Rwanda as so far as we're speaking right now, with all the medals that I'm just listening and I mean they're gaining, and on all the coverage they're getting around the world?
Definitely for Rwanda, you know, when this time around, I've loved Ferwasi, which is the Rwanda Cycling Federation, because they made this federation to look. When you talk about Rwanda, you hear about cycling. That's how they settled Ferwasi.
They have outcompeted Ferwafa?
Completely. I mean, apart from the Chan that just finished.
Absolutely.
But again, Ferwasi has been doing an amazing job.
I think Ferwasi has kept the consistency.
Perfectly, because
which is very vital.
Definitely. When you look at the performance they had in Morocco, it is completely amazing. We got the first medal, the first gold medal in the history of Rwanda from International Continental Games. Because
what does this mean?
It means for Rwanda now we are stepping the map, because it means in under 23 Rwanda is the best. We have the best cyclists in under 23 in Africa.
Amazing.
That's amazing. You see, and now, which is Valence Ndaisenga, actually the 2014 Tour de Rwanda winner. And now you see from the time he won the Tour de Rwanda till now, he has maintained that consistency. Now he's in South Africa playing as in Team Dimension in South Africa.
One of the best teams, I think.
Yeah, former Emton Kobeka. He joined one of the first professional cyclists in South Africa, and now we have other cyclists now in Germany in Team Bike Aid in Germany, and now these young boys and girls, actually Jean-Dalike Ojirobuntu also won the silver medal in female. She was the first female to win a silver medal from Rwanda. And actually, she was even the first female to represent African continent in Boston, in the continental cycling competitions in Boston. So now, actually in Richmond, United
Virginia.
States. Yeah, Virginia. That shows now how vital our cyclist has become, and also how they are representing the country with the pride.
Yes. Now, well, I want you to explain to us, when we talk about these young men joining teams in Germany, South Africa, in their own profession, what does this mean? Because I want our viewers to get the importance of actually becoming a professional cyclist.
What it means to be a professional cyclist is because now you are getting out of the level of Rwanda, East Africa, and Africa to a European stage and the international stage. Means that, let's say, like a Team Dimension in South Africa, former Mten Kobeka, now is the only African cyclist team accredited to play UCI Continental, which means they can participate in Tour de France, La Vuelta Italia, and even Tour de Spana. You get it? Now, if Valence Ndaisenga performs perfectly and selected to be part of the team member who can go to play Tour de France, it means he can be the first Rwandan to play Tour de France. You get it? That means he's putting himself on the map.
That's the most prestigious.
It's like a footballer playing the World
Cup. Yes, that's the World Cup of cycling.
That's the World Cup of cycling. And now those who are in Team Bike Aid in Germany, also they're playing European competitions. You see, now competing against teams from Spain, teams from England, teams from France, a team from Italy. Now that is exposure, and the better you perform, the better you get exposed, and the possibility you can get to also go in another. You can get a team in France, team in Italy, which actually is guaranteed to perform in Tour de France.
Moses, let's have the cyclism there, but bring it down to the world of football.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about South America. We're talking about Latino America. For most people, Suarez could, by surprise, be the best player for most people in South America.
Yeah.
But what do you think maybe could have... What do you think Suarez had to use to beat all the shining boys from South America, Messi,
Neymar,
from Argentina, Neymar,
Abuelos, and
what is the secret right now? Because I didn't see that coming. Was quite a surprise for me.
Let's face it, the best individual performer in Barcelona right now is Suarez. It was even a surprise not to see Suarez and the Ballon d'Or finals. Actually, that was Messi won earlier in January. Reason being, so far Suarez is the best performer for Barcelona, the more goal scorer, the more assist giver, and the best individual collective player within the team, because he completes the MSN, you see, which is Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. And he has scored himself 35 goals for Barcelona, 25 in La Liga, 5 in Copa del Rey, and 5 in Champions League. Better than Messi, better than Neymar. which means he's the best player so far in Barcelona, as far as we are concerned. Apart from being, let's say Messi is every time a better player, but right now, this is the year of Suarez. And when you look at, there was recently, there's a game that they played and Messi happened to pass him a penalty instead of scoring himself. That is a sign of they want Suarez this time around to go on for the Ballon d'Or coming January next year.
All right, we'll see if Mr. Suarez takes on the Ballon d'Or.
He might. If he continues the way he's doing, and if Barcelona can win a Champions League again, Suarez would be the Ballon d'Or winner come January, which would be my favorite.
All right, you heard it from Moses. Of course, congratulations to Suarez and, of course, the Barcelona fans because of their 3 boys out competing all the others in football. You are watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. Local and international news are coming up next.
The things that make you look outside the window and sigh. The ones that make your dreamy eyes look up to the sky and smile. Forget the miles between and smile at the sky. Like it held something precious that belonged to you. Like this little secret that makes you hold everything with love. Let your passion guide you. You can be sure you will touch the sky.
Let's take a look now at news making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
Members of Parliament have urged officials at the Ministry of Agriculture to move fast in recovering more than 11 billion Rwandan francs worth of fertilizers that was loaned to farmers. The call was made by members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Political Affairs and Gender as they quizzed Tony Nsanganira, the State Minister of Agriculture, on issues in the sector raised in the 2015 report by the Ombudsman.
A team of 25 Indian surgeons and 5 from Rwanda specialized in plastic and orthopedic surgery are offering free treatment expected to benefit about 300 patients with different elements at the University Teaching Hospital Kigali and Rwanda Military Hospital. The 12-day medical outreach program running from February 25th to March 6th was organized by Rotary Club International in conjunction with the Rwandan's Ministry of Health.
And in other news, Nigeria's ex-interior minister has been charged with fraud over a botched recruitment drive which resulted in stampedes that left 20 people dead. Abba Moro led a scheme which encouraged young graduates to apply for jobs in the immigration ministry in March 2014. Stadiums which were being used as test centers were overwhelmed by huge crowds of people turning up to apply. Mr. Moro has pleaded not guilty to his role in an alleged $2.5 million fraud involving missing application fees.
And in international news, Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse says he will not back Republican front-runner Donald Trump for president, the highest-ranked elected party member to do so. He says he's frustrated and saddened and will look for a third option if Mr. Trump wins the Republican nomination. The colorful campaign of Mr. Trump, who has already won 3 of the 4 early voting states, has divided Republicans.
Well, this was the most crucial. I think this is the most crucial part of the elections because we have the Super Tuesday where all the rest of the states voted. So
Yes.
we are able to hear the results out, and of course, Mr. Trump is leading. So a lot is going on out there.
May he not continue to lead.
Well, we take
Can
a
you
look at.
imagine a world with Trump leading?
Well, it's a lot of people. Different people have a different opinion. One they say he's a strong man to rule America. Others say he's a man with different. We've even had the former Secretary of Security, the CIA is saying he can't lead because you have any like a military division or something like that.
Exactly.
And lots of things are going on about him dividing the Republicans, and you know, it's a lot of debate going on. But some people still have to support him because they think he's a strong man, a man that is not coming from a political side, but rather a business side, which can drive America to be great again, as he says it in his campaign.
We'll see.
All right, we take a look at what's happening in lifestyle and what's hot right now in our daily debate section, Hot Topics with Sherry Uwase. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. You are just in time for your lifestyle update with Miss Sherry Uwase. In my usual restaurant and cuisine tours, as you may already have noticed, of course, I happened to visit Sakae, which is a Japanese-based dish restaurant located in Nyarutarama. Quite the catch for those of you who are into trying various and new dishes. Check it out. Welcome to today's lifestyle segment with me, of course, Sherry Uwase, and I am here at Sakae, which is located in Nyarutarama. Now, one thing you need to know about this place is that it specializes in Japanese dishes, and we're just about to try them, so make sure you get this all right.
My name is Matuku Kisangi. I'm the Sakai chef, Japanese chef. And here in Sakai, I've worked for almost 1.5 years. And mostly I do sushi and teppanyaki. And also in teppanyaki, I do some trainings. I've already trained around 5 people. Rwandese, they know how to do it. In teppanyaki, we do both chicken, fish, and meat. Different set menus, actually including vegetarian. And also we do some flambe. As we cook, we do a little bit of shows to demonstrate a little bit. And the guys I've trained, they are doing very well. In fact, they are very good, I can say so. And we have received compliments from the customers saying our food is nice. I hope you are very good. You can come and try our food. As our restaurant ambience is very good as well. We have very well trained waiters. They know how to serve very well. They are good in Japanese. And they are very good in advising customers the best cuisine. When you come to questions, they are very good in on advising customers. I want to invite all the customers to come and try our restaurant. It's one of the best in Kigali.
My name is Turikume Emmanuel. I'm the manager of the restaurant. We have Japanese dishes and Korean dishes. But right now we have made for the Japanese style, and we have also the Korean dishes. Actually, we have a real good food, special as sushi. Sushi is a very good kind of the fish. It's a raw fish, but many people like it. That's why our specialty is for the sushi.
So on your restaurant and cuisine tour, when does it end? Because you always leave me salivating. I mean,
I can't really
I get
say
so
when it's
hungry
going to
early
end
in the morning.
because yes, this is the whole idea. Actually, that's my point. So you get
Next
hungry
time
and
you're
you want
bringing
to
the things here so I can taste them too.
Okay, all right. We'll plan for that. But that's the idea. I have to go and keep people updated about these new places. Maybe the places they haven't been to. Maybe the places they need to consider.
Exactly,
So,
because
yeah.
I mean on that Friday night or let's say some time during the day on Saturday, you need to
You want to
maybe
take your
wanna go.
family out.
Exactly,
Or you
and you
just
don't
want
know
to go
where
out,
to go.
eat out. Yeah.
And then you remember, Sherry Uwase said something.
Rise and Shine. So,
Rwanda.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so please tell us a little bit about, is it Sakai?
Sakai. Yeah.
Sakai.
Yeah. So Sakai is a Japanese-based dish. So they make different meals, and the good thing is that they make it while you're there. So the chef is just preparing while you're
So
right
it's
there.
live
If-
cooking.
Yeah,
I
live
love
cooking. That is if you
live
want
cooking.
to, of course. Sometimes you can order for a meal that doesn't need you to be there. But I think that's what makes a different experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we made sushi, we made
Oh, wow.
vegetables, and we made
Was
also
it like
rice.
with raw fish, or it was cooked?
It was cooked.
It was cooked.
Yeah,
Oh,
it can't
great.
be raw, but it was cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's raw. But I guess because we're in Africa, things
Yeah,
have changed.
things
We
have
don't
changed.
eat
You don't-
raw fish.
Yeah, you don't bring a fish just right there and you expect Africans would run away. We're not.
Did you get to use the chopsticks?
I did. I tried to. I think I'll get there, but let's just.
Did
not
you eat
talk
any
about-
rice with the chopsticks?
I tried to, but I
I
failed.
mean, it was like one grain.
Yeah, I was like, how do people
One
do
grain at a
this?
time.
Yeah. How am I going to finish my food if I'm eating? No. So, but you learn,
And it's a
then-
different
and
experience.
it's a very different experience. And I think that's what people should try. A
God,
different experience.
Thank you so much for covering that.
Right, you're welcome. So, like I said, Sakai, you should go there and try all these different meals and even how to use chopsticks if you're like me and you don't know. So just go and have a different experience when you can, of course. For now, don't go away. We'll be right back with Hot Topics after the break. Welcome back, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, you know, we're up and about gathering everything that you need to know about what's happening here, what's trending all over social media. We've got it all for you right here and right now. Now, pop star Adele enjoyed a rapturous reception as she opened her world tour with an intimate arena show in Belfast. The star played 18 songs over 2 hours in what was her first UK concert in 4.5 years. Dedicated fans had traveled from all over the world, from Japan and South Africa, to see her perform. But Adele also had a message for anyone attending her concert. Now, she said, "I know some of you have been dragged along." Of course, she was joking, "but I'm going to win you over. Although some of my songs get a bit depressing." And I like the fact that she's aware of that. By the end of the night, however, even the steelest of hearts would have been forced to concede she had brought the goods. She first addressed the audience 15 minutes into the show, explaining, "They told me not to talk for the first 3 songs, so my nerves could calm a little." So she was very engaging.
Very honest.
Very honest also. And
Quite blunt sometimes.
right, yeah. So I think that was a very good way to engage even people who aren't really into her music, and people traveled. That place was packed just to go and
Adele.
see Adele perform. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
She is incredible. I mean, can you imagine somebody who goes to a concert? She does not dance. She does not do anything. She doesn't even have dancers or no performance in terms of dancing. But she just stands there, usually in black, and then she sings.
Always in black, actually.
And the arena is packed to the limit. I mean, it's beyond. Her voice is incredible. I love Adele so much. When is she coming to Africa?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, Adele has been now defined by the US by the Billboard as the queen of body and soul music. Because
Body.
yes, body and soul. So it's a connection. You know, music is kind of connected to the body and soul. No, so
That is very right.
yes, because honestly speaking, one thing, my experience with music is that whenever I'm sad, when I listen to this music, I don't know where even the sadness goes. So
Oh, you can actually want to get very emotional just listening to music.
yes, if people can cry because of music, if people can cry because of Adele singing, trust me, she's the queen of body and soul. So it's her world tour, but you know, why should they? For me, I think she's I mean, she's so amazing. But, you know, sometimes I think we need also these world tours to at least, come down to Africa also. Let it
I mean,
be
it's not
tour.
a world tour if you've not
Exactly.
included one of the
Africa.
most
I know they want
promising
the
continents
best
in the
stages.
world.
Yes, I know they want the best stages, but I
Calm
think that you
down.
can get that in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
At least make the distance.
Let's make one here in Amahoro Stadium. Why? We
Yeah.
Mike came. He's big also, right? And
Yeah.
he had one of the best stages ever.
Well,
He
so this
did,
is Connect.
yeah.
He has that Rwandese.
Well, I'm pretty sure, sometimes the standards are not to their best, but I think Kenya can try in East Africa. I think Nigeria can try in West Africa, and South Africa can try in Southern Africa. So I think these people should come down. I don't know why. I want to see Beyonce come down when the world tour.
She actually performed in Ethiopia some time back. Okay, well, like many years ago in Ethiopia. Unfortunately, I was in school, so I wasn't able to attend. But can you imagine? She came to Ethiopia. I mean, just come just a little bit down. Even if it's in Kenya, we shall all get.
We will walk
on
there.
and we shall start our journey.
Because these guys have a very big fan group in Africa. I don't know if she
Yeah.
knows about that, but it's Adele, and I'm pretty sure she's going to have an amazing time. A lot of people. She's going to sell very many tickets as she goes on the world tour. She's going to have a very wonderful name as she goes around, and I wish the best for her. But next time, think of Africa, man.
Think of
Right?
Africa, guys.
For me,
We are winning even Oscar.
Let's have you on the show next time.
for me, without Africa, it's not a world tour. Completely, I disagree. Full stop. Because honestly, Africa has how many millions of people? Almost more than Nigeria alone has about 100 and something million people.
Imagine.
And South Africa has almost that number. Algeria, West African countries, Kenya. I mean, you cannot say that you are taking out more than almost 1 billion people out and you call it a world tour. That does not work out. And for me, my emotion is if you don't come in Africa, Adele, it's not a world tour. And,
It's just first world
yeah.
tour. First world. Of
Because-
first
World, yeah.
developed countries tour.
Definitely, because apart from where she was born, let's say apart from West America and Europe, the next stop should be Africa, and then South American, and then Asia. That's where you could call it a world tour. But she's really
Even in
incredible.
Asia, I don't think they reach far. They
They
probably
normally
go
do
to
Europe.
like maybe Japan.
Oh, yeah.
But is it a
Do
I
they
world?
haven't
even
seen
do
them even
Russia?
go to Brazil.
But that is not a world tour. Then they should look it another way. It's not a world tour.
It's true.
centered.
Now that
That's-
I've thought
yeah,
about
that's,
it,
that's
there's
the
no
centered of
southern
one
African
side of
country.
the one part of the world, which
It could either be northwest of the world or whatever, southeast.
Okay, well, I know that when Beyonce had her world tour, I mean, she included Japan, she included some,
They should be including like Brazil. There's a
yeah,
very
the
fun
Brazil. I'm
Brazil
sure,
has a very big fan
yeah,
base,
but
yeah.
there's still no Africa. I imagine they include Australia. They can go all the way down those ends, but they can't come just.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
a country
Break
like
the
South
stereotype.
Africa,
You
which
know,
hosted
break
a
the
World
stereotype.
Cup.
Stop over.
No, when we hosted a World Cup, how do you say that country cannot host Adele?
Exactly.
It does not make sense because we hosted the entire world in one place. How can we not hold
And
Adele?
we hosted
also
Chan.
hosted Chan.
And we hosted Chan in Rwanda, the entire African continent. How can we not host Adele? It does not make sense. Honestly
If we
speaking,
hosted Chan, we can host Adele.
And we might host CAF.
And we had Lauren Hill here.
Exactly.
Some time back, even way before when we were still old school. Now we are new school. Why can't we all host Adele? Come on.
Right?
If Kenya had Stromae.
if Kenya hosted the most powerful person in the world,
We had
Barack
Jason
Obama,
Derulo.
how cannot Kenya host Adele?
Exactly.
I don't get it honestly. All
Kenya
the fans,
hosted even Neo. Uganda had Neo.
the Pope.
The Pope.
I mean,
That's a good one. The
honestly
Pope.
speaking, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
Come on, all the singers who are out there, consider
Performers.
Africa, then we call it a world tour.
Yeah.
Well,
break the
just
stereotype.
To, right? Just to wrap this up, let me just end this by saying Africa is home. We have a portfolio of a number of people we've hosted, so they might as well just come. We've given them many options.
We will be screaming.
Yeah.
This will be the liveliest audience
Right?
ever.
I actually
Africans
think-
will
oh
have
my
drums.
She should
Vuvuzelas, like
I'm
it's a
telling you.
I
must-
think she should talk to we hosted Sean Paul, we hosted
Shaggy.
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo, we hosted Shaggy, we
Oh,
hosted
Jason Derulo is not on that level.
okay, but we even hosted
Jay-Z has come to, he has performed in South Africa. Who else has? Trey
Well,
Songz.
Stromae is big too.
Stromae.
We have had. You really like Stromae.
I mean, he's
The
good.
fifth time you're saying it.
He keeps on saying Stromae. You see, Stromae has his roots in
Yeah, he
Rwanda,
had
so
to also
that
visit
one is
and-
kind of
You
biased.
see, he even had an African tour. He even went out to Congo. He went out all those
He's
places.
also French speaking, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of English speakers in Africa. Come to one of them, then we'll travel the entire continent to go to,
Right.
to look to
And
see
I'm
you.
telling you,
Exactly.
my dear, if Adele came to Africa, you see her music is slow, but Africans could dance to that
I'm
music.
I know.
We love it.
There's a fire.
We'll just
We'll
come
find
up
a choreography
we-
of
we are
that song.
sure,
that
we are
song.
sure Western Africa, Nigeria will take care of the choreography and
You know, Africans also talented. So in case something happens to our band members, we just have someone. Just
yeah,
get on
just
stage.
enter and
Is it the guitar
over.
you need, a dancer? Hey, we can do it all.
we have,
Absolutely.
we have even standby backup plan for all these people who should
Definitely.
we're inviting. Anyway, let's just
Alright.
wrap it up right there. So send us your ideas and tell us what you think about this tour. And you know what? Let us start a movement and let's just make it go viral that these people who say they're having world tours should also consider coming to Africa. Then they can qualify for those world tours. For now, don't go away. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be back after the break.
Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Finally, find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We'd love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website, www.riseandshinerwanda.com. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. We do love to hear your feedback, so please keep sending them in. But for now, you've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Yvette Shumbusho.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be at same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.